What's up, my dudes? It's Ansu, and today we're here to do a book haul. I don't usually have a lot of these, so this is gonna be fun. The first book I got from the channel Joe Notations, and it was Kingsbane by Claire Legrand. I've actually read Fury Born, which is the first book, 2 times. One a few years back, and the second one sometime in August this year, and I still haven't gotten to the second book. It is a fun story, and I really think I will enjoy the rest of the series. I just haven't gotten to it for some reason. First book follows around 2 queens who are separated by centuries, and essentially one of the queens is a sun queen who's a good person, and the other one is like the blood queen who is evil and going to destroy the kingdom. One century we have this woman who can control a ton of different powers like water, fire, air, and all of those things. And we're trying to figure out like who she is, if she's the Blood Queen or the Sun Queen. She goes through all of these trials and she's being really attacked by these people, and it's bad, right? There's a lot of like a quest kind of a situation going on almost, and it's a lot of fun. The other side we have another character who's Eliana, and she is an assassin and she's like a badass person or whatever. I just didn't really enjoy her perspective that much. Yeah, it's still something that I think I would really enjoy, and I just need to get to it soon. The next book I was gifted in another giveaway, and I had some kind of luck going on from the last month for giveaways for some reason, and I got these 2 books. Anyway, it was from Sasha from the Redhead Reader, and it was Blood and Honey by Shelby Meherin. I've read the first book for this one again, and I haven't gotten to this. This is the second book, and it follows The Serpent and Dove. Blood and Honey, this book came out in September this year. It came out on my birthday, September 1st. It was a pretty new book, and I just haven't gotten to it yet. Essentially from our first book, Louise Leblanc left her coven like 2 years ago. She has forsaken all magic and is living off whatever she could steal. This city is essentially really scared of witches like Lou, and they are basically hunted and burned to death. And we have our other character who's sworn to the church, Reed Degree. Some kind of a twisted fate happens and they end up actually getting married. So the war between the church and the witches is really old. I don't know, I didn't really love the first book. I gave it a 3 stars. I thought it was good, decent enough at least to want to continue with it, to see where it would go. But I remember not really loving the first book because I just felt like the romance was just kind of pushed in there and it was not necessary, and it was just a whole lot of crap kind of. But yeah, I definitely want to see what would happen in this book just to figure out like how it wants to end and whatnot. So I think it might be fun. We'll see. Alright, the next book I got was Radio Silence by Alice Oseman. I haven't read this book, and I have heard a ton of people saying great things about it for so long, and I've only read, I think, the Heartstopper series by Alice Oseman. I liked it. Wasn't super huge fan of it. I know everyone loves it so much, but it's like, it was meh to me. And I'm still pretty excited to try this one out because I've heard so many wonderful things about it, and I would really love to know how it would go, so definitely keeping an eye out for this one. Frances, who spends most of her time studying and making fan art for her favorite podcast called Universe City. We have another character, Alad, who's a very smart but quiet kid, and he is actually the creator of Universe City. He goes by the name Radio Silence online. So Frances gets a message from Radio Silence one day asking if she would like to collaborate with him. So these two actually start working together and spend an entire summer working together. One day Alad's identity kind of leaks to her, and she figures out who Radio Silence is, and essentially she's trying to figure out what she could do to keep this friendship and University essentially going on. I don't know what to expect exactly from this book, but I've heard wonderful things, so I'm expecting a lot, so we'll see. Next up, I got this book because of Emma from Emma Books, who really talks about this book pretty much every year, saying that it's a good Christmassy read, and I got it because why not? It is The Afterlife of Holly Chase by Cynthia Hand. Just from the synopsis, what I get is we have our main character Holly, who for the past 5 years has been living a selfish, terrible life, and the 3 ghosts are essentially visiting her and telling her she has been living a horrible past and being very selfish and she should amend her ways. But she does not end up doing that, and she ends up dying. In her afterlife, she's essentially working for this Project Scrooge, where the ghost of the past is going to these people and telling them that they should live better lives before they die. Every single year they save a life, but Holly stays frozen at 17 and just sees her friends and family living their life happily, and she's still at 17 and just having a terrible afterlife. But this year things are going to change for some reason, and I think there's like a romance involved or like a good friendship involved. I'm not sure which one, but I'm excited to see what it is, and I've heard fun things about it. It's like a guilty pleasure read, I think, and I think it'll be fun. Next up, I got The Lovely War by Julie Berry. I've heard so many good things about this. I think it's a historical book, that's why I got it. From the synopsis, I think the gods are controlling these 4 characters, and I think it's Aphrodite who's controlling them. And we have 4 different characters who, one of them is like a pianist, one is an orphan who has a beautiful singing voice, another who's like an architect turned soldier, another who is a genius in the US Army, something like that, right? So we have these 4 characters. They have romance, I think, involved in here, and it's also set in World Wars I and II. So it's supposed to be like filled with romance. I don't know what to expect, guys. A lot of people really love this, and I'm just genuinely excited to read it, and I don't know what to expect whatsoever. I know that's the way that I like to read books, but it's not good for booktubing, is it? Because I don't know how to explain the book to you, but there's a lot of like passion, and obviously it's World War I and II. There's definitely going to be loss for sure, and it's going to be devastating. Those are the vibes that I'm getting, and I'm super excited about reading this. In the back, it literally says, "You may ask me, as others have done before, whether it was kindness or cruelty to allow them to meet so soon before his departure with so little time to discover each other, whether the pangs of loss do not invalidate the bliss of love, especially where war is concerned and death runs rampant with his bloody scythe. I don't call it cruelty. I do not apologize. Aphrodite." It's gonna be a devastating read, isn't it? Are you gonna make me cry? Is that what you're gonna do? I don't like that, okay? Alright, you guys, those are the 5 books that I got in the last month or so. And I'm super excited to get to each one of them. I think they're gonna be really fun and filled with a lot of excitement and emotions that I'm really looking forward to. Alright, you guys, that's everything from me. I'll see you all next time with another video. Until then, I'll talk to you all in the comments. Bye!